Hold on.
I've always heard it.
Put my drink down. Listen, you entertained the thought, yes. But for the past 6 months of this fucking podcast, at least minimum 6 months, we've been doing like the headphones and shit. Has it been 6 months? Yeah, it has. I've been fucking hearing this little humming.
No, it's been a year.
But for like the past 6 months, I've noticed it, is what I'm saying. So since I've been noticing it, I've told you guys about it. And you guys are always like, Dalton, shut the fuck up, you little fucking bitch. Like, you're such a piece of crap. Like, sit down.
Yeah, don't shake your head. That's exactly how
why
it's
word for word.
Why don't you go sit in a corner and
Go
think
read your
about
book.
life choices? Go read your book.
Did you read your chapter today?
You know what? And that made me believe maybe I am crazy. Maybe I'm just hearing things. And then now, 2 weeks, like fucking the past 2 or 3 weeks, you guys have been like, oh my God, that humming's so annoying. Yeah, David, it is fucking annoying because I've been hearing it for the past 6 months. But I was always told to shut up. But now that Ding Dong 1 and Ding Dong 2 are starting to fucking hear it, next thing you know, we got to change it. We got to fix it.
So I've definitely known about this the entire time. I
said you entertained the thought.
I've also brought it up to David multiple times, and it's just the interface. We can't do anything about it. It doesn't come out on the episode, so our listeners can't hear it. So I just learned to love it.
We're suffering
for our art.
Yeah, for our art.
Did you try to say audience and art at the same time?
No, I said for our art.
Oh, okay.
It's like the TikTok where it's like the Baltimore accent.
Yeah.
And it's Aaron earned and iron earn. And he gets it and he's like, iron and iron.
That's crazy. All right. Well, welcome to the last
Welcome back.
week of Spooktober. We got a banger for you for this intro, so super pumped for it. Cheese, go ahead and roll it.
Undercover on the beach, you're twerking.
Yeah, check that out.
The DJ's like big.
Yo will do.
Georgie.
But I feel like that's the only way you get the full effect of that one. It has to be a little long.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Week 101.
Oh, God damn it. You know, what sucks is the number keeps getting higher, you know? So the match is going to get harder.
Yeah.
No, there's ways for you to do it to make it
Week
easier.
101, guys. That's 1 plus 98, 99 plus 2, 101. Week 101, guys. What's up, motherfuckers?
That was pretty easy.
And as always, we're your hosts. I'm Drumm.
And I'm Drummer.
This is a podcast about brotherhood and the 3 S's: storytelling,
Supernatural,
and self-improvement. But for the final week of Spooktober, we have seances,
stigmas,
and skeletons.
because those are pretty scary too.
Stigmas?
Yeah.
Like in an existential way.
Oh, not like the stigmatism in my eye?
No, but you have one too?
Yeah.
Me too. Which eye?
I think it's my right.
Really, my left.
Really?
You know, it's
Yeah.
not a stigma in your eye. It's
a
stigmatism.
Yeah, those
Okay,
are pretty
just
scary
making
too.
sure.
But stigmas are also scary.
What is a stigma,
They put
Dalton?
they put you in a box, man. The government tries to put you down. The whole time we've been talking, I've been trying to figure out what the fuck a stigma was, and I couldn't figure it out. But I knew it would go with the 3 S's, because I know it's not like the best thing in the world.
A stigma is like,
The government trying to put you down.
no. How would you explain it? It's time for Dictionary with Dave.
How did I forget this segment last week?
It's dictionary with Dave.
Is this a segment, though? Because Monique argued that. She was telling me that in the car. She's like, you forgot a segment. You forgot the most obvious
Oh my
segment.
gosh, she thought she was the shit.
Yeah. And I was like, what segment is that?
She's like, you forgot 3 segments.
She's all, Dictionary with Dave.
What were the other two?
The other two we had said, but she was thinking about
Wasn't
dictionary
listening?
with Dave. No,
It was the other, like, we were talking about names with her, but then we came up with a different name, and she was just, like, comparing
oh
them.
yeah.
So stigma is a noun, and it is a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person.
Use that in a sentence.
So
That person's smoking cigarettes. Got a stigma about him.
Oh, like he's an asshole.
like cigarettes have a stigma about them.
Yeah.
because they're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Got it.
Dalton, you have long hair, which
Yes.
has a stigma about it.
What's the stigma?
That you drive a pickup truck or you listen exclusively to Bob Dylan.
Exclusively.
Exclusively.
or like you look like you're buff, so there's like a stigma about you being buff. You know.
There's never been a stigma about
But
me with
then,
that.
but then you open your mouth.
Then you open your mouth and it's just very wrong.
I was really bothered by the way he said that. It was annoying. You work with kids, and they're just a little too honest. I feel like that's the worst part. You know?
Yeah, you never want to ask a kid. There's two things I've learned. One, don't ask a child for their opinion unless you're ready for the absolute, like, blunt truth. Yeah. The second thing is, if a kid ever challenges you to something, don't do it. They are better than you. I don't care how long you've been doing it. I don't care what it is. If they're willing to challenge you to something, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah. They're little assholes like that.
What is an example behind this?
If a kid challenges you to ping pong, or like some very
skillful
exactly.
sport.
Something very like specific.
Yeah.
So
like,
not like basketball.
if a kid comes up to me and asks me to play basketball, I'm gonna go, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You're going to curse at a child.
I'm just gonna look at the child and go, yeah.
You're going to say it in your head.
I'm gonna say it, yeah, and then I'll play him. But I think the minute we start playing is the minute he just breaks my ankles.
To be fair, Aaron Carter did that to Shaq, and he won.
You comparing me to Shaq?
I'm saying if a kid can beat Shaq when he challenges him to
I'm the
basketball,
size of Shaq's leg.
I don't even think you're that big.
I don't think you're that big.
He's how long are his legs?
So, for those of you that don't know, Shaq is a DJ, and his DJ name is DJ Diesel.
He's also a rapper.
Yes.
He is someone that I would probably play alongside Will Smith.
I'm 90%. Let's get some sick flows. Let's do some rap, but also Will Smith. No, so Monique was able to go and like see him live, and I asked her how it was. She said it's the weirdest thing because like everything looks so small in his hands, right? And anytime he puts his arms up to like wave his arms up and down, she's like, he's just so big. His arms just keep going up and up and up and up and up. She's like, it's crazy.
And water bottles are like a freaking the size of his hand.
Have you seen that Twitter account where it's Shaq with everyday items?
Yes.
And it's just like everything is just so incredibly tiny.
Remember we watched that video on it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was with you. That's how I saw it.
Yeah, I feel like he's wide. It's like he's not just tall. Like I feel like if he was tall and just lanky, it'd be okay. But like since he's tall and wide, he legitimately looks like a giant. Because everything is just tiny. It's nothing. Like,
but everything is proportional on him.
Yeah.
So he looks like he's just been
blows my mind.
He's at 125%.
Yeah.
And then everything like so. This is with all the instruments right now, right? Or did you stop it?
I stopped it.
Oh,
Like
okay.
like if I'm being honest, like Shaq just amazes me. Like he is like I think about him pretty often. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, like the shot of him playing London Bridges falling down with the violin.
Oh
like,
my god.
That normal violin becomes the world's smallest violin. You know how everybody like rubs their fingers together? Like it becomes that.
What were you saying, Dalton?
It's just he amazes me. He does so much.
The picture of Shaq holding a normal sized Krispy Kreme donut. It's literally the size of his ear.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he probably eats that with one bite. Like literally one bite.
I mean, that's not a talent though, because like I do that.
Why are we talking about DJ Diesel? Oh, just because she saw him.
Yeah, she saw him live. I don't know how we got here, but I'm glad we did.
I'm glad we did, because you know what? People need to know how fucking amazing Shaq is.
You know, he's a doctor.
An honorary doctor?
I'm assuming so. Monique
How do you
told me
become
that.
one of those?
Monique knows a lot about Shaq now that I think about it. She has a lot of random facts about
Dude,
Shaq.
how do you not? Shaq is a great topic for anything.
This all came because of a child challenging you to something.
Yeah, don't if it's like hacky sack or something very specific that you don't normally do, don't do it. They're probably better than you.
Yeah, I would. Don't fuck with that. But I mean, if you know you're better than them, then obviously win.
And don't ask them for any opinion because
You don't want to hear it. You don't. They're just gonna tell you exactly what's wrong with you. They're not gonna be nice about it.
Yeah. I think the scariest part about work this week has just been the amount of kids that have told me that like what they're going to be for Halloween and how it's like one of the only times in the year where they can go out and like just kind of like run around and go knock on doors and just kind of be like a normal kid in a sense.
Yeah.
And like the shit they say, like, oh, I like Halloween because I get to carry a knife everywhere.
Oh, God.
And it's like, fuck. Like, had 2 different kids tell me that. And I was like, why are you saying that? Don't say that.
What's the most popular costume?
It's the, there's one of the kids. He's 6 years old. Barely, like, doesn't speak very well. But he's going to be from what's the show that's been going crazy?
Squid Games.
Squid Games. He's gonna be like the people that take
The guards.
like one of the guards.
Jesus Christ.
He's only 6.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to be in Squid Games. And I was like, damn, all right, dude, for sure.
That's wild.
There was a couple throughout the year that like looked to be like the movie came out and everyone was like, "Yep, that's gonna be it."
What?
I'm looking it up.
I mean,
You
maybe
guys can
because
keep
Squid
talking.
Games is just the most like
Recent one?
That's the only thing I can think of.
Is there anything that happened with the Netflix and
Tiger King? I thought there was gonna be a lot of Tiger King people.
Oh, Cruella
Uh-huh.
came out this year,
Mm.
so potentially Cruella, the new Suicide Squad.
that was such a good movie.
Was it?
And people out there are laughing.
Okay, I'm sure they are.
If you watch the movie, you would know.
But anyway, that's what Dalton's weekend was. What was yours, Matt?
Dude, I went camping.
That wasn't my weekend. That was a week of work. But
I went camping with Monique, and I went out to Joshua Tree with some friends, John and Melissa, and we got to go and do some hiking, which was pretty cool. We got to this one hike, and it was a 3-mile hike, round trip. So it was 1.5 miles up, 1.5 miles down.
is it, you have to go back from where you came from though? Like walk
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
back?
like-
It's not
yeah.
like a loop.
No, because
Okay.
you would walk up, and then I guess it's like the best viewpoint of Joshua Tree. But it's 1.5 miles with a 1,000-foot elevation gain. So each step is like a box step for me, and I have a bad knee. And we got there, and we're kind of like reading the sign that they have, and then Melissa or John, one of them was like, I don't think we're ready for this. And we're all, why? And I'm pretty sure it was Melissa. She's like, just look at how the people are dressed, and everybody has like walking sticks, like these like crazy hiking boots, a bunch of water, and I'm like standing there with like my Diet Dr. Pepper that I got from the
So bad.
the gas station, my broken CrossFit shoes, my knee brace that's like super thin, just wrapped around my knee. Because last time I went, it was like I was on crutches. So the first spot that we went to, we got out and I was able to like climb a couple rocks,
Yeah.
like very carefully. And I was like, this is already 1,000 times better than the last time I was here, because I can go in these rocks and I can fuck around and not have to be stuck with these crutches. So we hung out there for a while. We started the hike. We went up about a quarter of the way, and then my knee wasn't doing too hot, and we realized that if we finished this hike, it was going to take up a majority of our day, and we weren't going to be able to go like see anything else. Like there was like an old mine. They used to like a gold processing mine that we wanted to go see. And if we did the hike, it was just going to take too long, and then we just wouldn't be able to see it. So we turned around, walked back down, and then got in the car and got to go there.
Was going down a little bit scarier than going up?
1,000%. Going up was because going up you're conscious of it, right? But going down, not only like now you have to like stop your momentum and your weight.
Basically one-legged squat.
Yeah.
down.
So I took my time. Everybody was passing me. I was good. And then we finally get to the bottom. Monique turns around. She's like, you did it. And I'm like, nope, I need to get to the car first, because it's always like right when I should be good and safe is when I do something very dumb and I fuck up my knee. So we got in the car, good to go. Then we got to go hiking to the gold mining spot. That was cool, but the trail was a little deceiving. It like broke off into like 7 trails, and we made the mistake of following this other group. So then luckily John had downloaded the offline map of the area, because we're walking around, and like I'm walking with Monique and Melissa, and we're like all talking, and John's in like navigation John mode. So he's like running around looking, like trying to find like the spot, and we can't find it. And apparently we like followed the wrong group, and we were way off the actual trail.
Oh no.
So we had to hike through all this brush into the trail, and then we were able to see it. And they had some like random like old broken down trucks there, like old school, like
it's like an art piece or something like that.
No, I think there were just ranches there or something at one time, and these cars just broke down.
Oh wow.
Because there's like gas tanks. It was like back when the seat was on the gas tank, like like you had to lift the seat to be able to fill it up. So that was pretty cool. And then after that, we went to the Joshua Tree Saloon for lunch, which was cool. And then I was wearing my Drum and Drummer shirt. So I'm sitting there, and it was like you had to go seat yourself. So we moved out of the sun into this table. These people had just gotten up and left, and I had left a couple cups of water there. And I was like sitting there, and I put my stuff down. I turned around to grab the waters, and Monique's talking to this lady, and there's like six ladies there. And the lady stops and looks at me and goes, I recognize you. I know that shirt. And I'm wearing my Drum and Drummer shirt. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I think she had seen me on the hike that I was just talking about, like before on our way up. I think she was coming down. And so she goes, yeah, I recognize you. And then Monique's like, oh, that's him and his brother's podcast. So then in the middle of this saloon, these ladies are like, oh, what's it about? I was like, oh, it's about brotherhood and the 3 S's.
Nice.
And I run them through the spiel, and I'm like, yeah, it's my brother and I. Our last name is Drumm. They're like, oh, Drum and Drummer, like Dumb and Dumber. I'm like, yeah, it's basically the same thing. And they started laughing, and I was like, so, you can find it on all the platforms. I gave my own little pitch, which was kind of weird to do in public, but it was cool.
That's what we got to do, and we're grinding. 100%, baby.
So then after that, we went and we stayed in a yurt.
Yurt?
Do you know what that is?
It's a
Slap on the back of the head.
That's like a full, like, structured.
Okay, here's my question. Why is it not a teepee? Is that not culturally sensitive to say? Is that why we're calling it yurts?
Was it a teepee?
Yes.
Um,
And I'm legitimately asking because I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to be a
I'll look
dick.
it up for you.
I thought yurts were more rounded.
It is a different shape
It's more of a cone, right?
because it's a cylinder that
Yeah.
has a TP on top.
Uh-huh.
So then what's a regular teepee?
A TP is just
a cone.
a cone.
Yeah. It's a cone, bro.
This is a cone with a cylinder underneath it.
Basically a little wider.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If that's the only difference, then. But so we stayed there. It was super cool.
So you guys didn't need a tent or anything.
No, and honestly, we brought a bunch of stuff expecting for them to not provide anything. Like we expected it to be the yurt, the stuff inside the yurt, and then a like a bonfire pit, and that was it.
Yeah.
But when we pulled up, the lady was there. She walked very slowly as we drove behind her to the yurt. We got there, and then they had everything. They had like a grill, they had a bonfire pit, they had a bunch of chairs, they had an ice chest, and then inside they had 2 beds for John and Melissa, me and Monique. They had like cutting boards, they had cleaning equipment, they had cooking, like they had everything.
Yeah, the whole 9.
Yeah, so it was super cool. So before we got there, we had ran to like the grocery store to pick up some food for the evening, and then we were able to.
Yeah, yurts are usually considered glamping.
Yeah, absolutely. It was 1,000% glamping.
That's the
awesome.
difference.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Great drawing, David.
Thank you.
He's an engineer.
He's an engineer.
So we got there. We were able to start. We started cooking or whatever, and then Monique likes to take things to the next level, right? And this is with everything. And this is just who she is. And I love this about her. She took a s'more and she made it better. So what she did was she goes, oh, we're having s'mores tonight. We need Nutella, strawberries, and marshmallows. And I was like, what? And so what we did was we made s'mores, but we put Nutella spread on the graham cracker
instead of chocolate.
Then we put strawberries on the Nutella, and then we roasted the mallow, put it on, and ate it. It was so freaking good. I'm not a big fan of s'mores, but I had at least like 4 of them.
You just call it mallow?
Marshmallow.
Yeah. First,
did I have this
you
discussion
roast
with you?
The mallow.
Thank you. That's my exact reference.
Mellow. Wouldn't it be mellow?
The mallow.
The mellow. Mellow just makes more sense.
Mallow.
Marshmallow.
It's technically marshmallow.
It's not a. There's no A.
Spell marshmallow.
M-A-R-S. Can you use it in a sentence?
First you roast the
Marshmallow.
Yes, but the way it's spelled, it's M-A-L-O. Yeah.
W. Marshmallow.
Marshmallow. M-A-R-S-H. M-E-L-L-O-W.
It's M-A.
That's the DJ without the W.
Marshmallow.
Who is a giant marshmallow? It's one of those English words that you just gotta accept and move on. You're gonna hurt your brain.
Fucking shit.
So we did that. Those were super good. And then what was kind of, I don't know why I was this calm. I think because Melissa and Monique and John were all very calm about this. But we had a 5th visitor.
Was it the goat man?
It was not, but John and Melissa kept bringing up the goat man. And at one point...
That story legitimately scares me.
At one point, when we're walking to the minecart path, we get to this cart, and all of a sudden, there's this old man there. Just appeared. He wasn't walking with us. I just turned around, and he was there. And he was, like, trying to make conversation. Like, he was just admiring the truck, right? And he pulls out his phone to take pictures. And I know Monique wanted to, and I almost did it. And I wanted to offer to go take a picture for him of him next to the truck because he was just by himself. But then I was like, John and Melissa had just talked about the goat man. And I was like, no, don't fucking do it.
Like in reference to him or just in general?
Just in general. They can't, bro, the whole time.
Bro, you can't talk about it when it hasn't happened yet. That's just putting the vibes out there.
But you're not supposed to talk about it.
Not only that, but John and Melissa, while we're out there, they just kept talking. I don't know how many episodes of I Shouldn't Be Alive they've seen, but they just kept talking about getting stranded and dying in the desert. And I was like, please, I don't like, we can talk about this in the car on the way, but like when I'm trying to climb up this rock, I don't want to hear about somebody that got stuck between a rock that looked exactly like that. So I had to like kind of calm myself down a little bit. And then they were talking about the goat man, right? And then all of a sudden this old man appears and Monique, like we're walking and Monique's like, babe, I feel so bad for him. And I'm like, keep walking. She's like, what? I'm like, just he's fine. Let's go. So we walked and I never saw that man again. Dude, it was fucking creepy. I was probably just an old man that was hiking by himself, but I think just the combination of like John and Melissa talking about it and making jokes about it and then that happening and like, it was kind of, I don't know. I'm sure they saw him, but they didn't like pay attention to it at all. And so then I was like, we get in the car and I'd do a head count, make sure there's 4 of us. Make sure Monique's eyes didn't like turn to like lizard people eyes real quick.
Did you smell sulfur?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. So I should be fine.
Okay.
But, and then, so then our 5th person that wasn't the goat man was a kangaroo rat. Dude, okay, hear me out. So I'm sitting there.
They're mad cute.
I'm sitting there, and it's like a little Pokemon. It's a little chubby little thing, and it's like eyes are super big.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
The only thing that freaked me out was the tail is super long.
Yeah.
And at the very end, it's bushy.
That's kind of cool.
So it's like a mace.
Yes. Yeah, but like soft. And so then he kept running out of his hole, and like the way they run, they kind of hop a little bit like a kangaroo.
That's cute.
And he just kept hanging out with us. He'd run in his hole, come out, run around the chairs, go back in. Thought it was going to freak me out. Thought I was going to climb up onto Melissa at one point. But it didn't. So then the next morning, the place that we stayed at, it was like somebody's backyard. There's all these animals. The biggest pig I've ever seen in my life.
I feel like you lived
fucking horse
adventure in a matter of a day and a half.
Dude, it was wild. Okay. 4:00, rooster goes off. Whatever sound they make,
Fucking
right?
say that.
I don't know how many roosters they had. What sound does a rooster make?
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's it.
No, you went. Caca.
I know.
That just feel like me up.
So at 5 o'clock, one rooster goes. 6 o'clock, another rooster goes. They had to have at least 5 roosters. My problem was with the last one. The last one went off at like 8:30. The sun was already out. And I heard it go off, and I said, that rooster needs to be fired because he is very late for his job.
Fuck. Everyone already up.
I like to think he's trying his
I
best.
just imagine him waking up late for work. It's like, oh, shit.
I gotta do the thing.
Like, you know, when you wake up late for work, you're like, oh, my God.
He's all, wrong one.
wrong word.
But it was fun. John, Melissa, thanks for inviting us. We had a blast. We got to do it again soon.
Yeah, man. It sounds like you guys had a good time. Sounds like it was an adventure.
It was. A lot happened.
What are you guys dressing as for Halloween?
Matthew, go ahead.
I'm Hercules.
You are?
I am. I'm going to be Hercules, and Monique's going to be Meg.
What are you doing for Halloween, Matt?
I am going to Monique's sister's Brittany's house. They're having a little costume party. So we're going to go there on Saturday. We're celebrating Saturday night. We'll go there, hang out there for the night, and then Sunday probably recover, and then get back to work on Monday.
Nice, man.
Yeah, that's about it. What about you guys? What are you doing? Cheese?
I have no clue. That's what
No?
I'm gonna figure out. Saturday we have a family wedding, so we'll all be at that. And then I don't know if our apartment has like the kids all walk around, so we are expected to have candy or something like that. But I don't know.
What about you, Dalton?
I'm gonna see what Lex is doing with Brooks.
Oh, cute.
See if they're
Ooh,
gonna, I
Brooks'
think
first
Aubrey
Halloween.
mentioned something about them walking around. So I might
Is that Sunday or Saturday?
I think that might be Sunday.
Oh, perfect.
What are you gonna dress up as, Dalton?
Nothing. But if I was going to dress up, I would probably just piggyback off of their stuff, and I'd be just like that fat hog, whatever that is.
The little fat
The imp,
purple one.
the imp,
The imp?
the fat imp,
Oh,
the one that helps you out.
yeah. What's his name? Phil? Is it Phil?
The fat imp from
Oh
Hercules.
yes, he's a satyr. He's not an imp.
Okay, thank you, David.
You're welcome.
He's a satyr.
His name is Phil, though, right?
He's
Yeah.
a satyr.
Philoctes.
Also, what a random name. Like,
It's Philoctes.
You don't know where that's from. It's
you thought it was an
Philoctes.
imp. You're the last person to fucking talk about
The
this.
way David is like smirking, he has the most smug fucking look. Like, I know Greek mythology.
Is David
do
a,
know
is,
Greek
is David a
mythology.
Disney adult?
David is totally he's worse. He's an Harry Potter adult.
I know about like 6 people
I
that
thought
just.
David just turned on the camera to like have a conversation.
like, "Listen,
Listen, guys.
I know about 6 people that are rolling around in their chair right now. I because like I don't so like you know a lot about Disneyland. You know a lot about Disney,
Yes.
but I don't ever see you wearing ears or a Mickey shirt,
Yeah, man. What's up with that?
and you don't have a sticker on your car.
Where's the love?
But I also just don't have a big thing about like merch and stuff.
That's not true.
All of my commodities are up in here.
God damn it.
My flexing power is all up here instead
Amen,
of like
baby.
in the stuff I can buy.
Look at you go.
I got to Dalton, were you with us when we went to Disneyland? Yeah,
Probably
you were.
not.
Yeah, no, you were, because going with David was like, I don't know, getting like a tour of his house. Like he just knew.
Oh yeah,
Well,
David
that's because
knew
I want to work there.
everything.
That's because I want to work there.
You were working there, weren't you?
That too.
Yeah, it was like you couldn't turn a corner without David giving you some like random fun fact that every time he would be like, "Did you know?" And in my head, I'm like, "I'm not gonna care about this," but
Donald
it was like
Duck stepped there.
it was actually
That's
very
not-
interesting. It was like the trash
He's not
cans
real.
Because it
every
was the
30
technology.
feet.
It was
Yeah.
the technology of the park
And then I
Yeah,
remember
that
we
was
were
cool.
on
compared to just like
we were on like Haunted Mansion, and then I was like, "Whoa, this is cool." And David's like, "Do you want to know how they do it?" I was like, "Sure." And he goes, "No, it'll ruin it for you. Never mind." And I'm like, David's just sitting there like with this power, like he's learned the secrets. Now he's just sad.
Like, have you like during those roller coasters and stuff, David? Were you always like, man, like I wonder how this worked?
yes.
See, when I was on a roller coaster, I was like, yo, this shit's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, how do they keep all these ghosts in here?
Yeah,
I don't
like-
understand.
How are they containing them all in one spot?
How does the boulder get back every time?
I have a question though, Matt.
Huh?
This is another good, I think a really good Halloween question.
Okay.
If you could make your own haunted house,
Yep.
what would the theme be? How would you want to go about it? You want to take through a certain type of experience? Want to replicate a movie?
This might be influenced by Squid Games, but it would definitely be either childhood games, or it'd be based off child nursery rhymes.
That's a cool one, like
okay.
twisted nursery rhymes.
Because if you actually listen,
Like, would it be like an escape room in a sense, like to the next room?
yeah, like there, I would definitely have like, you know how if you go to Universal, like you walk to a different maze and like that maze has it. Mine would just be like different sections of the one maze, but it would be like different nursery rhymes all the way through.
That shit fun.
With like a creepy version of like the tune of it playing in the background. Because every nursery rhyme is fucking creepy. Like if you just read the lyrics and you read what it's about, it's very creepy. And there's a reason that like a lot of times in horror movies, they use like nursery rhyme tunes because we all know them.
Yeah.
And it's like all coming from a time of like when we would all run around sing. So it's something we can easily identify with. So I think when you're trying to create an experience to capture people, I think that's just easy because we've all done it. We've all been there, right? But then also you add this twist where now you're an adult and you know something like it shouldn't be sound like this. It shouldn't do these things, you know? I might play the nursery rhyme backwards at one point. Like when shit gets wild, like play it backwards, have everybody come out and scare the shit out of everybody.
Playing backwards does work. It's worked on you guys.
Yep.
What do we play backwards?
Bend
Oh
around.
no. I didn't really want to hear the noise. I didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
You guys say it.
So, what about you?
I think I would go the basic, like, you know, kind of like take it through rooms of like the werewolves and the vampires, just like Dracula, and like
It's like classic monsters.
classic montage of just like all the cool haunted movies. But like when you're taken into the room, it feels like you're in like the 80s or whenever it was filmed. You know, like it's just really fucked up too.
So those were filmed in the 30s.
Okay, yeah, like that. Like it's just like, but like not like too bad. You know, like still able like to see things. I have a hard time with the cameras.
Yeah.
I was talking about the cameras with you earlier.
Yeah.
I like watching parts of the movie, but I can't sit through the whole thing because it bothers me too much. But I try. And so from what I've gathered was just you're taking it to a place and you feel like you're like black and white, like everything's kind of taken back.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And then you got to like run through the little maze or whatever to get to the next room. And then you're to the next scene of like a popular film. Then you run to the next scene of a popular film. So all like classics.
Like the Horror Nights
yeah,
mazes.
but not like you're not gonna get like hit or anything, you know. Like I was thinking I wanted an intense experience, but
Not like the places where you go and you sign the waiver.
yeah,
They literally torture you.
yeah, I don't know if I could do that.
There's one place where they can literally like you sign it off and they shave your head.
They shave your head. They like stick you in a box.
They bag you,
They strip you down.
and people are willingly.
They waterboard you. I don't think they waterboard you.
No, I think that might be illegal. But they do like whatever, and I'm just like I have zero desire to experience that and go through that. Yeah, and like the wait list for these things are long, like years, multiple years long. The scariest one is in San Diego. Yep. Because like, did you hear? There was a kid that got stabbed at one of these. Some person used an actual knife and stabbed some kid during the haunted house.
Like an employee?
Yeah. It wasn't a big. I don't think it was a big haunted house, but it was bigger.
It was one of those experiences.
Yeah, and some employee had an actual knife and stabbed some kid.
Yeah, like even for like horror nights, like that's fun, but then sometimes I'm just like, oh, leave me alone. And they can't get out, and then I'm just running in circles, and I keep giving big reactions.
So then more come.
And I'm like, I can't help it. Like I gotta scream at something.
If you're somebody that is like legitimately afraid to go to like a horror nights, I'm gonna give you a tip right now. Take somebody that's more scared than you, and all you have to do is be slightly less afraid than them, and let them walk just a little ahead of you. And just make sure they give a big reaction, and you'll get the experience because you'll get startled when they run by, but they just go after that one target.
Doesn't work.
And you're good to go. They're your safety blanket.
It doesn't work.
No, because you're the person that they take.
No, don't take me. David, what would your Halloween house type of thing be? I'm curious about that.
So my first thought was adult horrors. It's like one room is like taxes.
Oh.
And
tax fraud?
the next room is like retirement funds.
Oh,
and the next one is like
retirement homes.
It's just a cubicle for your 9 to 5, and it's like here forever. And then I was like, oh, if I did one, it wouldn't be, there'd be no jump scares, no like pop outs. There'd be music, and there'd be like, it would all be atmosphere. And it would just be stuff that like one of you said, just gets your hair raised and like keeps you on your toes because you don't know where things are coming from or you don't know what things are. And like some are like just slowly making their way closer towards you. I don't know how it would all culminate, but yeah, that was kind of the vibe I was looking for, is something just like atmospheric.
I feel like there has to be one jump scare though at the very end.
Oh, just to release all the tension.
Because I feel like you build up the tension, and then people walk out there and be like, "What the fuck?"
They'd be fighting everyone out there.
Yeah, like they're just gonna be mad. Like you just need. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be something.
You know, it'd be a good idea, or I think would be a good idea, is if you did like this whole haunted house, but like at first you put them in this room and you like disorient them somehow.
Yeah.
And then you put them into like this other room where it's just open space. You know, you can kind of feel like when it's open space, you can like feel the presence or whatever.
Yeah.
And like have it pitch black, but just have this music playing, kind of building up. And then they walk through this whole thing. Nothing happens, but the whole time they're expecting something. And then at the end, you do the boom. That would fuck them up. Yeah. That would totally fuck them up.
Or you take a room and you put it on a platform that's like 2 degrees. And then you take the walls and you put it at another 2 degrees.
Just disorient them.
So then they're like walking and they're like, what the hell? But it like looks normal, but it's not normal.
That would terrify me.
That would
So
suck.
because then it's not something you register,
pinpoint.
but your body feels it.
Yeah, that's rough. That would suck.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
I like that. Architectural horror. Oh my god.
Architectural horror.
David, do it, dude.
I'll do it.
All right.
I'll do it right now during the break.
All right. Sounds good.
And we're back.
And we're back, guys. How are we doing? How was your break? Ours was swell.
Don't we watched a scary movie.
We did.
The last one.
And boy, has it been a crazy roller coaster of a month with the movies that David's been picking. I would say the worst movie was all of them are pretty not satisfying.
Really?
All of David's movies he picked.
The first one was fantastic.
Which one was the first one?
What We Do in the Shadows?
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good.
That was fucking hilarious.
You know what? I'm talking about the last two.
Well, one of them you didn't watch.
He watched it after.
You watched Ouija?
Yeah.
Him and my dad watched it.
And what'd you think?
It was
all right.
It was whatever. It wasn't good.
So you had What We Do in the Shadows. Then we had
Under the Skin.
Under the Skin.
That one was fucked up and not satisfying at all.
Yeah, that one wasn't satisfying.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. When you say not satisfying, you mean it didn't end the way that you wanted it to end.
Exactly what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying mine is like it didn't scare me.
Okay.
Under
the Skin, not satisfying because you didn't get your answers.
Under the Skin.
Yeah, and it was just I didn't understand what was happening the whole time. And then what was after that one?
After that was Ouija.
That one probably got to me a little more than the other ones, but I just like the way it all wrapped together. And also I like the fact that I did what I had to do, you know? I held it down for this podcast.
You did. So you like the movie, not scary.
Yeah. And then this one was The Omen. It's classic horror.
Actually, this was a fun one, but it's still not satisfying at all. It was
the way that it ended.
Yeah, but it was intriguing. Like, it did keep my attention most of the time for a good portion of it.
Here's the thing. I think if you are religious, that movie takes a whole different turn as opposed to if you're not.
Yeah.
Because it gives weight to the book of Revelations, and it gives weight to the number 666. It gives weight to all these things that are very important for people to buy into in order to be scared of the movie. You know what I mean? And you can tell that this movie was shot like back in the day just by the pace of it. So for a classic horror, I enjoyed it. Like, it was a good storyline.
I don't know why, but I was intrigued.
Yeah. And it also just watching it with you guys and being able to just like crack jokes every once in a while, like that was funny. But at no point was I like scared.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which seems to be the trend for classic horror.
Yeah. And I think that's just because we are so used to not even a horror movie. Well, horror movies, we're used to jump scares. Like, anytime you see a dark corner in a scene, you're like kind of like leaning back. You're like, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
Jump scares become a big thing.
I was going to say, what did you say? Because I remember I responded to you with like, what are you talking about? Jump scares hadn't been invented yet.
Yeah, and then there was a jump scare right after you said that.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah, because she jumps out on top of the guy on his back, like right after David said that. It's not a traditional jump scare.
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
more of like she just appeared and was
But she
flying.
also screamed prior to that.
Okay, yeah, but I mean that's like the version of jump scare. Then it's not like it goes black and then all of a sudden there's a face like right in front of the screen and you can't get away from it. You know? Yeah.
That sounds scary.
It was good though. The Omen. It was a good one.
So what was it about?
The Omen is about a couple that are probably like what 25 years apart.
It has to be like a 30-year difference on that one. I don't know. It just didn't look right.
And if for whatever reason you haven't seen this and you want to, there's going to be a lot of spoilers, so just skip ahead. So the opening scene is basically they have this child, and then it shows the child doesn't make it, and the father of the deceased child is, you know, talking to this father, and I guess they were giving birth at some, I don't know, hospital that was ran by fathers and nuns. And the father goes, listen, I know your child passed. I'm sorry for your loss. But she doesn't need to know the pain of losing a child. Here's an identical child that looks just like the mother. She never has to know. So take this child and just tell her that it's yours, and it'll be fine.
This motherfucker looked at him and went, makes sense.
Yeah, he's like, you're right. I don't want to have to deal with this. This is the way. I'll just bury this deep, deep down. So then it turns out that they gives the son to the wife or whatever, and she's happy, and they're a happy family. The guy ends up being the ambassador to UK for the US. So they moved to England.
Move to England, baby. Move to England.
And then shit starts to get wild, right, Dalton?
Shit gets bonkers. You know, the child decides to like start making weird looks, which just made it more. It was more funny than dramatic, but it was cool, you know, to see him interact with the camera a lot. And he would look at like he would look at the woman. He was looking at the woman, right?
Which woman?
Oh no, the dog, his hellhound.
This was at the birthday party.
This is at the birthday party. His hellhound was looking at this woman, staring her down. And then she like suddenly like had an urge to just hang herself at the birthday party. And it was like, what the fuck?
So this woman was the nanny of the child because they're wealthy. So they buy this house, have a party. The kid's probably like, what, 4, right?
5
5
years ago.
Oh, that's right, 5. And so they have like a carnival ride. They have a merry-go-round, a really sick looking roller coaster. That thing looked pretty fucking fun.
That kid was having a blast.
Oh yeah,
that thing too, man.
And at one point, the mom gives the son to, his name's Damien. Gives Damien to, what does the name Damien mean? Will you look that up?
Yeah.
Gives Damien to the nanny, and then there's a photographer, and he's like taking a picture of the nanny and the baby and Damien, and the mom gets jealous.
Oh, I think I know what Damien is.
What is it?
I just read this somewhere. It's part of like, it's one of the 10 Sith, or not Sith
Sith lords.
one of the 10 demon lords or something like that. There's one named Damien. It's the one that they're praying out in Hereditary.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the demon lord they're looking for.
Okay. So the mom gets mad at the nanny because the nanny is like more involved in the son's life than the mom is. And so she kind of realizes that when they're like taking pictures with the nanny and the son. So she wants those pictures. So she tells the nanny basically to leave. Nanny walks out, and then you see this like Rottweiler. You've never seen a dog before, but there's no leash, no collar. It's just kind of in the wilderness. And then just like Dalton says, next thing you know, she's like hanging herself. She like calls to Damien. She's like, Damien.
Why are you telling the same story again?
Because you gave no context. You just started adding characters and a dog.
I'm leaving some room for them to watch it.
Oh, yeah. That's probably a good idea. Huh? Sorry.
That's like, you are descriptive enough.
Damien means to tame or subdue, to master, overcome, or conquer.
Huh.
What does Dalton mean?
So then after this birthday incident,
Probably the same thing.
there's one photographer that keeps taking pictures. And then basically it turns out that this child is the devil.
Son of the devil.
Son of the devil. And he wants to kill his mother, and his mother is pregnant with what would be his brother. And he wants to kill the baby too for some reason. Like he's like going after blood for whatever reason.
I appreciate you trying to like summarize now.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad. I don't want to like ruin it. And then after that nanny died, this is the part of the movie I didn't understand.
I got an answer for you.
Okay, where does the second nanny come from? When she says the organization sent me, what organization?
The nanny organization.
No,
Nanny 911?
that's what she tells them. But the same thing you learn later, like how the priest had the 666 birthmark on him. She has that somewhere, but those are the apostates of Satan.
Does it ever show her having that on her?
It doesn't, but you can assume.
Because I know they like said at some point, like I just assumed she was like some like
she was another apostle.
Well, the first time she sees the boy, she says something like, "I'm here to protect you, young king," or something like that. And the kid just like looks at her, and like there's this weird fireplace behind him, and he just like,
yo, that
smiles.
fire was roaring.
Yeah, I think it was going.
His style too.
Yeah, his style was something. The way they dressed was insane. Like, I mean, it's cool if you want to dress like that, but like, fuck, that's like a lot of work to dress down and dress up and have to go out, and you're gonna sweat a lot in that thing. I don't know. The fits back then were a little interesting.
Which was more intriguing to you, the visit to the church, or the visit to the zoo?
Visit to the zoo.
The zoo was fun because they were like, all the signs are pointing like this kid's a problem. You know, even the animals don't like him.
Well, that's when the mom realized it.
That monkey scene was wild.
Yeah,
the monkey scene was.
I'm
crazy.
actually very terrified. I would have been scared to film that scene if it was. I mean, I don't know if it was real.
Yeah, that's so dangerous.
Yeah.
If those are even live baboons and it's just the cameraman in the car, that's still terrifying.
Yeah.
You know? Because who knows? They could break through that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
And especially if they're at the zoo and like they let you drive through the exhibit. I'm sure they've seen people open doors before, and monkeys are smart. So they definitely knew how to open doors.
Oh, for sure.
What was your favorite death of the movie? They were some pretty inventive deaths for this being like early 70s.
Yeah.
So there's a death where the mom ends up getting pushed out a window, and the only reason why is because she ends up in this hospital and she's all casted up, and one thing leads to another. She gets shoved out a window and she's falling, but when she's falling out of the window, you notice both of her arms flailing, and I'm like, how did she get out of all of her casts? Like,
she just kept falling, man.
yeah. And like the falls took so long. Like they were dramatically long.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Just to make it look like it was a really long fall, they just paused her. It looked like in one spot for a minute, and I was like, all right.
And then the fake blood was great too, especially in Blu-ray.
Yeah, the fake blood is fucking piss poor, man.
Yeah.
They could have done better with that. I don't know. I would have done better with that with something.
Which was your favorite death?
I would say the hanging.
The hanging in the beginning.
I really
just because
enjoyed
it's
it.
out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere, and to me, it looked the most realistic out of the other deaths. You know, like you could tell, like just the way the body flopped. It just
not
was
that
different.
last one with the truck.
No, that was crazy. But I already knew that was gonna happen when I saw the pictures. You know, you can see it. There's a part where they have pictures that show how the person might die.
It's okay. Final Destination 3 basically rips it off.
basically.
Later.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
No. It was good. I was disappointed with the ending, but then there's like 3 of them, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
but that
I'll
makes sense.
I'll go summarize it on a YouTube video.
But this kid's just getting an upgrade because at the end he leaves with the president of the U.S.
Yeah, how did he, like, come on. He's doing something right.
Yeah. I mean, he is Satan.
That was one interesting thing, too, is because they're looking at a poem from the book of Revelations and they're like interpreting it. And there's a part where like, oh, he'll rise from the eternal sea. And they're like, well, yeah, well, they already, scholars already identified the eternal sea as being the sea of politics and stuff like that. And just how like wide an interpretation can get
Yeah.
for things to fit like prophecies
Mhm.
and poems and stuff like that, foretellings.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was a good movie, though. I'm glad I watched it.
So Dalton, your name, I'm just going to read it because it's a very nice definition. Sounding like the proper English surname it was derived from, Dalton is all about being smart and trendy,
Dang.
with equal parts cool and nerdy.
Dang.
Dalton, which comes from Dal or valley, and Tun or settlement, may have peaked in the 1990s, but that's okay. It means your child won't be in a classroom full of Daltons. So your name means valley and settlement.
I'm a place, baby. I'm a place to be.
But it's all about being smart and trendy, equal parts cool and nerdy.
It literally sounds just like me.
Pretty much. Describes you perfectly. So, Cheese, you went to a very interesting place this weekend. Where did you go?
I went to Chicago this past weekend.
Nice.
Yes.
How'd it go?
They have a bunch of songs. How does which song go?
How was Chicago?
Yeah, I know. The band Chicago has like a bunch of
I
songs.
don't fucking know a band Chicago, David.
It was super nice. It was cool. I had to really hold back on all the Ferris Bueller references I wanted to make. I wanted to end every sentence with chicka chicka. Oh, yeah.
I mean, did you really have to hold back?
Not really.
Yeah.
But we got to see a lot of downtown. We got to go to the Sky Deck. We got to go to the Art Institute. We went to a jazz club. I didn't realize that Louis Armstrong was in Chicago for a very long time and like was a big part of the jazz scene there.
Yeah.
And then just got to see a lot of landmarks. And it wasn't till the end when we were leaving that I was like, oh my God, there was a gangster scene here. I wanted to get an Al Capone souvenir for obvious reasons with Rachel. But she wouldn't let me. She didn't want those memories. So,
Oh, man. The struggle.
but walking through Chicago at the end, I remembered because we didn't plan anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, there's so much gangster stuff and there's so much haunted stuff because I'd bought a Scholastic's Book Fair book of the most haunted places in America, and Chicago had its own section.
How old were you when you bought that book?
Probably like 7.
Okay.
7 or 8.
And you
third grade.
consistently used it throughout the years?
Yeah.
You're the only person I know that just does these things.
So, with that being said, I have the 8 most haunted Chicago sites that you probably didn't know about. So let's see how many of these places that you went to. You down?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. Number 1, Museum of Science and Industry.
Did not go there.
No?
We were only there for 2 days. Day and a half, really.
All right. They have ghost tours there, and basically you can get your ghost questions answered.
Oh, this is where Clarence Darrow is seen a lot. He was in my book. He was a very famous defense attorney.
Okay.
Usually, but he was like against the mob.
When I read Defended, I imagined him like physically defending murderers.
Stop.
Oh no, he wasn't against the mob. Sorry, he was just a good attorney, probably for the mob.
Yeah,
For
and
the mob.
his ashes are scattered around Jackson Park Lagoon, which is why people think he keeps hanging around.
Yeah. And this book was by the History Channel, so I learned a lot about history too.
Second spot,
than everyone else.
875 North Michigan Avenue, formerly the John Hancock Center. And you can see it in Poltergeist 3.
You know, I've
cool.
been there, but I did
gotta
not
watch
know
the
this
first
was
one.
the case of it.
Did you feel weird when you went there?
No, I
no,
told
really
you, I'm like
felt-
a closed vessel. It's really hard for me to get those kinds of vibes.
Got you.
Number 3 is Prairie Avenue. It's close to Soldier Field. It's a residential street, and there's many ghostly tales that begin with the mysterious death of Marshall Field's son on November 22nd, 1905. And he accidentally shot himself while he was cleaning his rifle, and he's been haunting the grounds ever since.
Fuck.
I think this is the same place where like it's got like a death staircase in it. I don't know if it's the
like
same.
it's like a door that opens and it just drops.
No, like there's a spiral staircase and like 4 or 5 people have died
Really?
coming down it. And they don't know if it's like a ghost pushing them or if it's just cursed stairs or something like that, but that's where the ghosts usually show up.
All right. Number 4, Marina City.
We walked right by this. Yeah, that's the corn right there that
Yep.
you can see.
Corn cobs, designed by Bertrand Goldberg. So you walk by, does it actually look like corn?
Ooh, got a really morbid. Yes, it does. Rachel would not stop talking about how it looked like corn. Very cute. Pretty morbid history around Marina City.
Sounds like
Yeah,
it.
a
Shit.
lot of residents committed suicide in the residence, and others have jumped from the Marina City's balconies.
Fuck.
All started when 3 construction workers fell off the 43rd floor.
43rd, good thing it wasn't the 13th floor, because they don't have one of those. Number 5, the Tonic Room. Dates back to the Roaring 20s. It was once a favorite hangout for the Irish mob, and it was also a notorious brothel. So not surprising that there's a lot of history over there.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
So
Golden Dawn.
So let me read that because it's kind of interesting. The current building owners began their exploration of the property. They discovered a painted pentagram on the basement floor and Egyptian symbols on the ceiling.
Portals.
Some speculate that this was in fact a secret meeting place for the Golden Dawn, an organization devoted to the study and practice of the occult. One woman claimed to have witnessed a ritual murder there in the 1930s when she attended one such meeting. So does that mean she's guilty by association? Like, do you get charged for that if you admit to it?
How many years has it been?
They probably don't have any evidence.
I was
to
gonna say
prove
they
it.
don't. Yeah, there's no body.
Yeah, they can't trust word to mouth.
Number 6, Wrigley Field. I kind of figured this one. Disappearing baseballs, entities in the bleachers, cold spots, and the restless spirit of Harry Carey.
Harry Carey.
Harry Carey.
Harry Carey.
I kind of like Carey better.
I like Corey way better. Way better.
Why? Because it sounds crazy.
Crazy.
You're correct.
Number 7, the Red Lion Pub. Once Dirty Dan's Western Saloon is now haunted. Someone goes as far to call it the most haunted bar in Chicago.
I'm Dirty Dan.
Did you go there?
No, I didn't go.
You
there.
didn't?
I was waiting
Dirty
for Dalton.
Dan.
And
I'm
last,
Dirty
No,
Dan.
I'm dirty.
but
Dan.
certainly not least, St. Michael's Church.
Where it is said the devil himself visits.
Nah, it's just Damien, dude.
Whoa.
Did you see what I meant about Damien though with the devil thing?
Yeah.
That's his name.
There's 2 that they missed. And I'm surprised they missed
Which
them.
ones?
One that was in my book, which was an alley. I forget where it is, but it's the site of the Valentine's Day Massacre.
Oh.
Which is when Al Capone had his guys dress up as cops, and they pulled over Bugsy Malone's crew for like a normal stop and search, and they pulled him into this. Actually, no, it wasn't an alley. It was like a mechanic warehouse, and they pulled him. Had him line up against the wall, and the mob guys are like, "Ugh, got to deal with these cops. You know, we want to search the cars." Gangsters pulled out Tommy guns, mowed down like 7 of the guys, and then just took off. Only 1 dog survived.
Oh, good. At least it's just a dog.
And then the other one, which is a lot worse, is where the theater is called the James M. Niederlander Theater. When it opened, it was like the Aroki, and it was promoted as a fireproof theater.
Test that theory.
Didn't go well.
Very opening night, a fire started when one of the lights blew.
Really?
So the whole bottom floor caught fire, but the thing is on levels. So all the people on like the second level and above couldn't go down. So they all needed to get out from the
so they
top.
just
So
jumped
they were
windows?
trying to jump across windows, and a ton of them were not making it.
Damn.
So that place is called, behind the theater, it's called Death Alley.
Because people just fell there.
600 people.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
my God.
And then they said that there are people at the end of it, people near the end who survived
Because they were landing on everybody.
because they weren't landing on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
What the fuck,
Yeah.
dude?
So Death Alley, that was wild.
That's rough.
Do you think that guy was sued for not having a fireproof theater?
Oh, I don't know.
He had to be, right?
Probably. But yeah, so those two were also on there.
Crazy.
Dalton.
Crazy.
And then since Matthew did Chicago, I said, hey, let me do Los Angeles. So here we are. The first one that we're going to do is the Wonderland Murders house. The porn legend John Holmes was implicated in 1981 lead pipe Wonderland Avenue murders. Of 4 known drug dealing thieves in this house, revenge for robbing and embarrassing drug kingpin Eddie Nash was the inspiration for the brutal homicides which were made infamous by the 2003 Val Kilmer film Wonderland. That's kind of cool. What else we got? I want to do some good ones. Oh. Sanders House, a.k.a. Thriller House. The quiet Victorian house in Angelino Heights is the... What? How the fuck you say that word? Dilapidated?
Dilapidated.
Dilapidated shack. Did you?
I had no idea how to say that.
You were staring at it like me. Dilapidated. How do you say it, David? Dilapidated shack that was savagely attacked by zombies in the 1983 music video Michael Jackson Thriller bonus. But no, these places aren't haunted. These are like
Landmarks?
I can't even find the article you're talking about. You gave me
Well,
the
LA,
name.
you got Ace Hotel.
Oh, I've been to the Hollywood Wax Museum. Have you been there? That place is haunted.
That place feels weird.
That place is weird. What other place is really weird there?
Ace Hotel.
Yeah, that hotel. What's the other hotel there? There's another hotel that's really
The
haunted. Roosevelt's
Roosevelt
fucked
Hotel.
up.
I mean, Griffith Park has the whole the zoo that's abandoned. I don't know.
Oh, I've been there.
Oh.
I've been there too. That place isn't really creepy, but it's definitely, it's abandoned, so that's kind of makes it cool.
When did you go there?
I can't remember. I don't know why we went over there anyways, but yeah, I did.
I kind of remember this.
Yeah. Something happened that day. I don't know what, but that's why I remember at that moment.
Okay.
The Hollywood Forever Cemetery, obviously. My mother loves going there.
You can still go watch old movies there.
And take wine.
Yeah.
Because everyone loves wine. And then what else? Can you think of anything else? I don't like any of these.
No, I think that's it.
Oh, the Beverly Hills Bermuda Triangle. I don't know what that is. Let's read it. The immediate properties around this strange triangle of land in Beverly Hills has taken on a mysterious aura. In 1946, a plane piloted by Howard Hughes slammed into a row of houses and came to rest at 808 North Whittier. Bugsy Siegel was murdered at 801 North Linden in 1947, and Jan Barry of Jan and Dean was nearly killed in real life. Killed in a real-life Dead Man's Curve accident in 1966. David, can you look up what a Dead Man's Curve is?
A dead man's curve is on the road when it's like a sharp curve on like a mountain road. And there's either like very little guardrail along the edge or there's no rail along the edge. So it's like if you're going just a little bit too fast.
Oh my God, that's
You're going off.
terrifying. So he died of an accident in 1966. He was nearly killed in that type of accident. In November of 2010, Hollywood publicist Ronnie Chasen was shot in her car at the corner of the Sunset and Whittier. Chasen hit the gas and careened into a street light at 815 North Whittier, adding to the legacy of one of the most sinister intersections in Los Angeles.
Stay off of Whittier.
Dude, what the fuck, dude? That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's
Crazy.
wild.
Some haunted places. Check them out if you like. Just be safe. Stay off Whittier Avenue.
Just watch what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
Go the speed limit for a reason.
All right, let's jump into our segment.
Oh, Dead Man's Curve is also a song.
Who sings it?
Jan and Dean.
Give me a demo. Sing it.
I don't know how it goes. I just found the lyrics.
All right, ready?
Which one are we doing? Oh,
Welcome to...
we did this last week.
That's
No,
fine.
No, we didn't. We did not do this.
But we did the boys' room. We did both last week. We
Yeah.
did Is It Canon and the boys' room. This week is just the boys' room.
Oh, okay.
The boys' room.
Although we can also make it another double just to even it out.
I don't care.
We'll do it because I want your question. I want your opinion on it.
What I was saying is, I thought that this, I thought we talked about this last week.
No,
No,
not
not
this
this
topic.
topic.
Last week was Possessed.
That's what it was.
All right, so
Same
this
difference.
week, the question is, how do I know if my child is the Antichrist?
Let's see.
How do you know, Dalton?
Let's see. Things I would look for. Dead eyes. They
Okay.
just look dead.
Dead eyes?
They look dead in the eyes. Second thing is pale skin. Pale lips. I feel like would make a lot more sense. The third thing would be if they start speaking in like we instead of I, because this is the sign for like legion and whatnot. We talked about this last week too, where if they say like instead of saying I or anything like me, anything personalized, it's always we or us. And so they speak in that term because everyone is all in that one being, all the souls and stuff. So I feel like that would be a good one. And then the change in language. Sometimes they'll get an accent, which is really interesting. Or sometimes they learn a whole different language that they know like secondhand.
But you're speaking as if the child has been inhabited by the spirit of the devil.
Yeah.
But in the theory, wouldn't the child be the spirit of the devil? Like it would have always grown up?
I don't think so. I think like a soul is what makes a body, is what makes a person.
Yeah.
I think the Antichrist or the devil, if we're speaking in that term, is replacing the soul. So it's taking that soul, throwing it into an abyss of nothing, and then it's taking its place in the body that it wasn't supposed to be in the first place.
But that makes it seem like anyone can be the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Instead of the Antichrist is born this way.
Yeah. They just got. I feel like they're just looking for the right suitor. Maybe that's a better way of explaining it.
Okay.
Well, I don't necessarily know the answer to that question, but I have 14 signs that if your child is doing this, then it might be the Antichrist.
Let's see it. Here we go.
Number 1, your baby says dad or mama. Its face morphs into a perfect replica of its father's or mother's face, respectively.
What the fuck?
I like the little example it has.
Dude,
That's so
that picture's
extreme.
creepy.
But look at
so-
the little caption underneath it.
You got your nose. Child got your face. This may seem a bit unsettling at first, but once you've diagnosed your child as the Antichrist, you'll quickly get used to this newfound skill. Its devil's vents radiate a greenish blue glow at exactly 23:11 every night.
Which would be
11:23.
no. 11:11.
11:11, yeah. I don't know what a devil's vents are. It says soft spots, but I don't really know what that is either. Like on their head?
Probably
Like their head grows or glows.
the soft spot on their head.
Yeah, it starts to glow blue or whatever.
Oh my god.
What about this one, Dalton?
Your pets start walking on hind legs and speaking in tongues when they're near the baby.
Popular phrases you'll hear are Rakal Fukus Rakmadash and Shwalama.
Sheesh. That one too.
Very antichristy. This is my personal favorite. The baby refuses to breastfeed by causing earthquakes of magnitude of 5 or above on the Richter scale.
I thought it was going to be only at 5 or below.
No.
I was like, damn.
What about this one, Dalton?
Whenever your baby laughs, a dark portal opens next to it, from which a horned demon emerges to ask, "Is it time yet, master?"
Now, if that's not just the clearest sign that your child belongs to the other side,
Dude, before I would even think about it, I'd run through that doorway.
Number 6.
To hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 6. Your baby seems to enjoy most Nickelback songs. The caption says, this one's pretty intuitive, but it's still worth mentioning.
And you know what? That might be me because I stand behind Nickelback 100%.
You are.
I'm a Nickelback fan.
So then would your perfect partner be someone that like walked up to you and was like, you smell like the Antichrist?
I'd be like, you like Nickelback?
Your child has a habit of walking into and out of the television screen.
I hate when that happens.
Do you think the screen goes a little crazy whenever they walk inside it?
Don't do it, son.
You suddenly discover that your baby has a Facebook page with a pentagram as the cover photo.
What's wrong with the pentagram, man?
It's a portal. It's supposed to open a portal.
I
don't know why pentagram.
Yeah, I wonder why that's like that. That's the thing of choice.
Your baby doesn't know how to count to 10, but can recite archaic magic spells in fluent Aramaic.
Aramaic.
That would totally be like a dead giveaway.
You want to take this one, Dalton?
The child's favorite TV shows are Teletubbies, Fear Factor, and Summoning the Forces of Darkness Season 3.
Specifically, Season 3.
Now, let me just tell you, Teletubbies there's a lot more involved with that than I think people know of. Teletubbies is fucked up.
It's on a different level.
It's on a different level, man. Fear Factor, that's just a good-ass show.
You can't recall ever seeing your child blink.
So that was when that was in the movie. He like...
No, you know what? He didn't blink, did he?
He didn't really blink, you know.
Imagine how long that must have taken.
Whenever you try to give your child a bath, the water instantly evaporates and the steam forms into the shape of a burning cross.
Damn.
That's very specific.
You put your child to sleep and walk back to the kitchen only to find it finishing a meal by the dining table. Did it say it? Only to find it finishing a meal by the dining table. Wow.
Incidentally, this is also a common sign that your baby is David Copperfield.
Who's David Copperfield?
Magician.
Is he good?
I don't know.
And last but not least, when you give your baby a doll, it smiles and coos instead of screaming in terror like any normal child would.
What the fuck?
And they say that this one, the creepy doll test, is probably the surest way to discover if your child is the Antichrist. There you go. 14 solid hints to know.
The Antichrist is just looking for homies, man. That's what it sounds like. Just wants to hang out.
So let's use that to walk into the our other signature segment.
What are we doing? Oh, 1, 2, 3. Is it canon, bro?
And ask if the Antichrist is canon or not.
Oh, that's going into some deep shit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does it go deeper beyond
Like,
acknowledging the existence of the devil?
I guess, because then it goes straight into like religion and whatnot. But if we're just talking about the Antichrist alone, I would say to me it's not canon, because I don't think that's how it would necessarily happen. I think it's more glamorized as like this is how it's gonna be, but no one fucking knows. None of us know. You know, we can all act like we do, but none of us have a fucking clue. So, however the Antichrist wants to reveal itself, it could be climate change, for all we know. It could be just the world ending through, natural disasters.
Just whatever kills
Whatever
man.
kills is what's going to be considered the devil.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I kind of view it. It's like,
okay.
It's happening as we speak.
Okay.
What do you think, Matt?
I think it's canon.
There will be a person
Like
that
it'll be like
shows
a
up.
physical person. I don't think it like everybody thinks about like this one person comes down and cracks a whip and everybody does all this stuff. I think it's a lot more subtle than that, but I definitely think that it'll be somebody.
I mean, people said Hitler was the Antichrist.
He very well could have been, man.
He was,
if there's
man.
anybody close enough to what I consider to be the Antichrist, it'd probably be him. So, makes sense.
Yeah.
That guy's fucked up.
All right. Well,
We're split.
split decision.
Split canon.
Now, before we go, did you see the thing about Missouri.
I actually remembered Monique talking to me about this.
Yeah, this
but
is actually crazy.
I don't remember well enough to explain it.
Yeah, can you talk about that one?
Yeah. Give me a second. This is still ongoing too.
I'm trying to think. I know it was something in the basement.
There was a daughter that was kidnapped the same way that her mother was
kidnapped earlier.
And somehow the law enforcement tracks the daughter down, and they break into the house of this guy.
Yes.
And they find the daughter, and I don't know if she's alive.
So she was a missing person in Missouri, and she was reported missing at the end of August.
Did they say how they found the guy?
And the last person to see him alive was this guy, and they questioned him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, she's been staying at my place," and showed the deputy around the property that didn't have like anything that belonged to her. And then later, the FBI just anonymously got pictures, or maybe not anonymous to them, because I'm sure they could track them down, but pictures of the woman in a cage.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, on Phelps's on the guy's property, and then like found out about one of his accomplices. So they went there, and a blogger, so someone else, says they have sources that show the police confirmed human remains are on the property of these two guys, and that the FBI started investigating them.
Wasn't the guy feeding
Yeah,
parts to the neighbors and stuff?
Yeah, so like when they came in to arrest him or whatever, he's like found out he was caught, obviously. So he started screaming, and he's like, "Yeah, like I ate these people. Like I fed them to my neighbors too. I fed them some human meat last week. They didn't even know." And he was like kind of like laughing like maniacally about it.
Something.
Yeah.
I mean, he got noticed. I feel like that's those kind of. Would you consider him a serial killer? I guess you kind of would, right?
Yeah, I mean he has.
I guess those tendencies of wanting to show off.
Did they say how many people they found on his property?
No.
No?
I know like official info has been coming out.
There'll probably be so many just fucking like people. It's too real. Like it makes people too uncomfortable. The idea of that, or rightfully so.
It's too grossly real.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Which makes it hard to like believe.
Yeah,
and
but
then
that shit's wild. Just to kind of keep it. They had a freezer in the basement, right?
Mm-hmm. And just packed with meat.
Just packed with meat like it was pigs. On those hooks.
He like cut him out. Yeah. Said, do you think you guys said that he was like giving out sandwiches and ribs and stuff, and that's what he was eating when they found him? The last thing it looks like that was left was that the house burned down.
Yeah, she told me that.
Yes.
Yeah. And so they don't know how it burned down, but it's burned down, and so like anything that was left there is gone now.
Honestly, think about that though. If you were a serial killer, you want to take away all the everything. You probably just set like a little self-destruct type of thing,
or someone else's.
Do you think someone would have burned it to cover it up?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, the other thing that is coming up is that there's been like really no coverage of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has not made it to
because
national
it's about
news.
the TikTok girl.
Yeah.
Or the YouTube girl.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Gabby Petito.
Yeah.
That's crazy in and itself.
Yes, it is.
But just the fact that cannibalism is still real.
It's real.
It's still
out there.
Sadly going strong.
Yeah. Crazy.
I don't get it.
All right, made it this far into the podcast. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for sitting through the final episode of Spooktober.
Happy Spooktober, guys. I hope you guys are going to enjoy your Halloween. Be safe, eat candy, and, get a little scary out there.
little spooky.
A little spooky.
Leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening to this podcast. If you're here on YouTube, thank you for watching. Click the subscribe button down below. Bell notification icon in the corner. And until next week, everybody stay safe. Stay spooky. Until then, I'm Drumm.
And I'm Drummer.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.